On Blues Radio International, it's Jesse and Audrey returning to Phoenix for our chief medical correspondent, Dr. Janice Johnston. How are you, Janice?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Hello.
What a delight to see you with the sunlight in the background.
Yeah,
So
things were relatively calm at the office today, so I came home just a little bit ago, and I've been just working from home.
Well, it's very nice. Can you give us an update on what we know this week? There's some interesting news. I read, although Abbott denies it, that half of the Abbott quick tests may be giving false negatives on the one hand, and then we hear that Moderna may have some breakthrough. Can you tell us about the developments that we're all excited about hearing?
You know, I still think that the testing is not 100%, but we're getting more and more testing, which is great. Definitely when you put together testing with a significant history. So, you know, I was in Italy now and I had a cough and body aches and blah, blah, blah. And now I get my antibody tests and they're positive. The likelihood that that's accurate is quite high. I have felt fine. I haven't been anywhere, haven't been exposed to anybody. I'm just kind of curious. Then you don't have that backup behind you. And so we're not sure how, you know, there's going to be some false negative, false positive with those antibody testing. Certainly here in Arizona, we'd love to see some point of care of that antigen testing available widely, and it's not just yet. So we are still using swabbing for that we have to send out to the lab. Thankfully, though, they've started to have some different options for us. So you've seen that nasopharyngeal swab that goes deep into the brain, kind of burns it's an awful feeling. But now they've also have where it's in the front of the nose. So you just kind of swoosh it in the front. Had a patient put a comment on Facebook on our page, or on our business page, saying that they didn't think the test was accurate. In fact, it is just as accurate as the deep one. So that's good. And then you can also do it in the back of the throat as well.
Okay. How about the news from Moderna? That's a nice headline from Cambridge, Massachusetts. I don't know whether we should get our hopes up too high.
Yeah, it's hopeful. It's hopeful. So we'll see, you know, what comes out of all that. You know, definitely, you know, we're, as physicians, I think we're looking towards our local health departments and the CDC to be the guiding advice for us. You know, there's lots of developments and things that are out there, but in terms of putting it into real practice and practicality, boots on the ground, we all need to be systematic and pragmatic about our approach to that.
Now, there's a very practical situation that everyone's confronting as the nation opens up, and different states have different rules and different guidelines and different ways of doing it. But people are now going back out. They're going to venues. They may have a 25, a 50, or a otherwise % limitation on capacity. There will be social distancing. What should we be looking for as we venture out for the first time? Are there people who shouldn't venture out, number one? And number two, what should people do if they're going out?
Yeah. So definitely, you know, if you're older and have some medical issues, you definitely want to be super cautious, right? So I would still keep my exposure to others to a minimum if I fit into one of those categories. Definitely want to make sure that you're practicing good social distancing guidelines anywhere that you go. Everywhere is different though, right? And so some things are opened up all the way. Here in my state, the movie theaters just opened and our casinos opened, I believe, as of today. I don't know. To me, that would be something that maybe that wouldn't be the first thing that you would jump to, especially if, you know, you've got some things going on with your health. Definitely, if you are sick, you're not feeling well, you've got the sniffles, you've got a mild cough, mild fever, anything even mild, stay home, because that could be COVID, whether you get tested or not. Just please make sure that you stay home. And the current guidelines are now at 10 days to remain in isolation with a 3-day buffer of feeling okay. So if at the 10-day mark you're not feeling good, well, then you get to stay home. for 3 more days until those symptoms have gone. So I just got off the phone with a patient just before you called. We've been part of our governor's state blitzing program here for the last 3 weekends, and believe me, that's not fun. It's damn hot here, and to get in that plastic outfit is just, it's not fun. But we're starting, the results are actually just starting to come in from Saturday morning, and I just got off the phone with someone, and they had a couple people over for Mother's Day dinner, and one had a little bit of cough. Sure enough, he's positive for COVID, and now she is too, and probably most likely her whole family, because everybody's starting to feel sick. And it's just not something to play with. Even if you have just a mild case, you feel awful. So I think that's what a lot of people just don't understand, is that, like, well, I think I already had it, or I'll be okay. But believe me, it's just not something that you want to. Why would you want to gamble with it, right?
I agree. Now, for those who are feeling well and have had no symptoms and haven't traveled anywhere, let's say they've been in isolation for some period of time, now there's some venues opening up and they want to go to one of these venues with social distancing. What should you carry with you? What should you be wearing? And what should you do while you're out?
Yeah. Personally, I wear a mask when I go out. I wear a mask everywhere that I go. I make sure that I have hand sanitizer with me too. So every time I get into my car, I sanitize my hands every single time. I even sanitize the wheel of the car, the steering wheel. If you have some wipes that you can bring with you, even if you don't have it, I know the sanitizing wipes have been so hard to get in the stores, but you can make your own. You could take a little Ziploc bag and put some paper towels in there and put some cleaning fluid with that, maybe kind of clean off the tables. Certainly you want to make sure that you're distanced from each other, at least the 6 feet. And, if you can go to a venue maybe that has, that's outside, where you can get the fresh air instead of being inside in a closed environment, that would be preferred as well.
Now, that's all great. And we talk about what it's like as a patron to go out and what you should wear and what you should bring and how you should behave and social distancing parameters and all of that. But I'm curious what you think performers should be doing to protect themselves from us while they're doing their thing on stage.
Yeah. I saw a short video of John Primer, and he was performing in Chicago, I believe it was, and he was singing, and he didn't have a mask on, but his drummer and his bass player, they were masked on the stage, which I found interesting. And they were a fair distance away from everyone else, but certainly I think performers should be not engaging as much with patrons, and just because they would normally want to shake everybody's hand and that kind of thing. So I think just to kind of keep their distance, because they will be coming in contact with hopefully a lot of people, right? But maybe just to engage with them from a distance.
Yes, because I know that, when I sit in the front, there's things flying around. And, so do you think 6 feet is enough in that case? I mean, how far should we be from the stage?
Yeah, you certainly don't want to be in the soak zone.
No.
And I've been in the soak zone before, and it's not even nice when there's no COVID, believe me.
Yeah.
So, just keeping your distance. I would say to, stay at your table and just not get close. Yeah.
Which is a bummer. We always love to shake hands and say, we enjoyed the show and thanks for the music. And that element is I'm imagining will be removed from the whole thing. I'm curious how we're going to be able to interact with, our beloved performers after the show. That's part of the experience, is talking to the band and thanking them and, just chatting it up and getting to know them a little bit. And, are we going to do that across a table, or what are we going to do there?
Yeah. Well, I think just baby steps, right? So
Yes.
what might have been normal before, we're just going to have to take some baby steps and see what happens as we open up different things across the country and see what happens to the infection rates.
Yeah, I think we'll make it work. People want it bad enough. They'll behave, and
They
hopefully,
will.
with time, this will pass and we can all start hugging again. But, we'll
Yeah.
have to take social distance for now.
Yeah. I would just encourage folks to be respectful of others, and then also to be respectful of wherever you're going, what they're asking you to do. Wear a mask, or stand this far apart, or go down this aisle one way and up the aisle the other way. Just be respectful of that. These businesses have taken a big hit, and they're trying to do their best to follow the guidelines in their local communities. And you may or may not agree with exactly what they're asking you to do. Um, but I would say let's be respectful to each other and to the businesses that are, out there trying to come back.
Okay. Well,
Yes.
Dr. Janice Johnston, there's a rumor out there that I'm not going to confirm or deny that Sanjay Gupta really wanted this gig, but knew that he had no chance.
That's right.
Now that we've won and have you, so thank you very much for being the voice of reason in our community, our blues community, and musicians all over the world look to you for guidance and for an absolute no other agenda view of the truth. And we can't thank you enough for bringing that to our listeners and viewers all over the world.
All right. You guys take care of yourselves, all right?
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
It's nice to see you, Janice.
Okay. We love you. Take care. Bye.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.